Hello friends, we'll be starting with the new unit that is the output device is actuators. So let us try to understand what do you mean by actuators, because many researchers or the many authors, they have came up with a different definition, but the meaning is same. Even though the wordings are different, the meanings are same. So let us try to understand what do you mean by actuators with the different. So our focus will be on the introduction, classification, principle of operation for different types of actuators, and the selection criteria for these actuators. So what do you mean by actuators? Let us try to understand one by one. So there are, as I said, there are different definitions that are available through the texts or through the various references, so that you can use it. So actuator is a kind of a part of machine that is responsible for moving and controlling a mechanism or a system. So this is one definition. So it is a part of a machine which is responsible for moving and controlling. So this is very important, moving and controlling. So what I'll do, simply moving and controlling a mechanism or a system. A mechanism for moving and controlling or controlling something indirectly instead of by hand. So if any part is there, moving part is there, or if you want to control it, so if you are controlling by hand, instead of controlling it by hand, if you control it by certain mechanism, so that mechanism of controlling or moving, we will call it as a actuator. The third definition, one that activates, especially a device responsible for actuating a mechanical device such as connected to a computer by sensor link. So the example we have considered, making the light on and off depending on the external light or the light in the room. So you can make this bulb on or off. So depending on that, you can use it. So or the computer by a sensor link. So instead of computer, if we consider the microcontroller also, so that microcontroller will take the action depending on the threshold value. So that threshold value will switch on the next circuit, and that will operate the next mechanical device. So that mechanical device, so here it is actuating the mechanical device. That means mechanical device is a moving part, so you are actuating that one. So the fourth definition, device one that actuates a mechanical device for moving or controlling something. Here it is moving and or controlling. Okay. So a definition which is given by most of the books is a device or a mechanism capable of performing a physical action or effect. So it is performing a physical action. So the physical action, it may be on the moving or a controlling, or effect is you are controlling it. So an actuator is a functional element which connects the information processing part of electronic system with technical or non-technical. So it is connecting the information of the processing part of the electronic system. That means you are connecting it to the microcontroller devices, which will take the input from the sensor, which will decide the action, and you are connecting it to the, so it is a functional element which is connected to the electronic system. So it is controlled by electronic system. So this will be more appropriate definition for the actuators. So there are different types of actuators, mechanical actuators are also there, but when we are talking about in terms of electronics, so this will be the appropriate definition for our actuators. So an actuator is a functional element which connects the information processing part of an electronic control system with a technical or non-technical. So technical means you are directly using the signal, and non-technical means it may be a biological or a process type of system. So an actuator can be defined as the energy converter. So this is very important. So it is an energy converter which transforms the energy from the external source into mechanical energy. So the electrical energy or electronic signal is converted into mechanical energy in a controllable way. In a controllable way. So these are the different definitions which will give you the definition about the actuator. So more or less what I can say that it is a device which controls the mechanism of a moving device or moving part. Okay, so this is what the definition I can tell you about. That means you want to move a particular part, either it may be a rotational movement or it may be a linear movement, and you want to control that movement. Then that control will be done with the help of some electrical signal or some electronic signal that you have received it from your electronic control system, and that will control the mechanism, and that mechanism control we can do it with the different types of systems. So actuator can be used to control the flow of energy, mass or the volume. So you can control the energy, mass, or you can control the volume also. So the output quantity of an actuator is an energy or a power. So obviously the output what you can expect from the actuator is energy or a power. So most of the time when the best example is the bonnet of your or the dicky of your car. So when you open that dicky flap, so what will happen? So there you can see a rod which is moving, or the best example is the mechanism that will move the system automatically very slowly with the help of certain the lift mechanism, or you lift any very heavy material with the help of your lifting machine. So that lifting machine will use such kind of information. So it uses the energy or a power. So often it is in the form of mechanical working potential. So force times displacement. So this is the you are getting it is in terms of mechanical. So you are using the force for a displacement purpose. Then the actuator is supposed to control the flows of matter and the energy. So actuator must contain at least one energy controller. So you will be requiring one energy controller. So it requires a converter as well as controller. Okay. So the output variable of a energy controller is the energy provided by auxiliary power supply, which is controlled via input variable, as it is typically done with the transistors and valves. So the opening of that power, how much power you will be required, so that power you are going to control it with the help of auxiliary power supply, and that will be decided by the input variable. So here it is the converter, you can see that. So here it is the input variable is there. So that input variable will be input to this input controller, which will be again controlled by this auxiliary energy. So you will require this auxiliary energy as well as input variable, and that will be converted into a mechanical energy. That will be converted into a mechanical energy. And there is so here it is the best example that you can see that this is the electronic circuit. This is the electronic technique. So you can so this is the example of block diagram. This is the example of electronic conversion system. That means you are converting the voltage into current, or you are amplifying the signal. You are amplifying the signal. Actually you are controlling the output with the help of this resistor also. Okay. So this will depend upon that one. So VCE depends upon the IC and this RC also. So VCC minus ICRC. So this is decided by this value, and you can control it. So amplification, you can control it with the help of IB. You can control it with the help of certain components also. So this is the control mechanism. So transistor as a switch also, you can work on this one. So this is the switch. So VB is applied, and if the VB is above 0.7, the transistor will be turned on, and you will get an output over here, which is the inverted output. So here it is the mechanism, a mechanical system. This is the valve. It is just like a tap of your you know that water tap you might be using. So here it is connected to the, let us consider that here it is the reservoir, and from this reservoir you are taking it through the pipe, and here it is the tap. So you move, rotate that tap, and as you rotate this tap will move either upward or downward. Accordingly, this valve will be closed or open, and water flow will be controlled by the movement of this tap. So this is what the examples of energy controlling. So this is the energy controlling. Here you are applying the auxiliary energy. So here you are applying the auxiliary voltage. Here you are applying the external force that will control the valve, that will control the flow of fluid by external force. So this is called as an energy controller mechanism. So the actuator functional structure can be described by introducing an elementary functional component as an energy controller and the energy converter. So we have seen the example of energy controller. So energy converters input and output variable are the energies. So in previous case we have seen that we have controlled the different parameters. That means the input variable is different, the auxiliary power will be different, and the output power output will be in the form of energy. But in case of energy, we are converting energy to energy. So input is also energy and output is also energy. So this is what the difference between the controller and the, here you don't require any auxiliary auxiliary power is not required in this case, converter. So the best example is transformer. The best example is transformer. Here you can see that this input voltage will get converted into output voltage depending on the number of turns. So you don't require any external circuit, or you don't require any external power for such kind of transformation. That means voltage gets converted into voltage. So one kind of energy is converted into the same kind of energy. So this is a converter. So we will call it as a transformer in our electronics or electrical language. So this is a transformer. Now here it is the gear mechanism. So we can see that this is the mechanism with which we can convert this movement into a larger movement. We will convert this movement into a larger movement. So it will have a speed of omega 1 and mass of m1. So we can convert it into speed of omega 2 and m2. Okay. So the speed conversion is possible with such kind of gear system. That means a rotational energy is converted into a rotational energy. So here the rotational energy may be a different, and here the rotational energy may be a different. So this is the example of energy conversion. So the three elements of the sensor actuator systems are required for the three elements are: the amplifier is the processor or the controller of the system. So the example is this one. So when you consider the sensor and the actuator system, so we have seen the example of this controlling the light on and off depending on the environmental light or the light in the atmosphere. So here is the sensor, here is the amplifier, and here is the actuator. So in that case we have used the example as a LDR, so light dependent resistor, and here you can use either a microcontroller or an amplifier. So we use a transistor, and the actuator is a relay or the transistor itself as a switch. Okay. So this is how you are actually converting this kind of system. So it consists of three elements: sensor, amplifier and a actuator. Okay, so the actuator requires a control signal and a source of energy. So it requires a control signal. So you need to control the action. Now depending on the darkness, so this is what the example you can take it. So depending on the darkness, you can control the intensity of your light. That is also quite possible. So for that purpose, you will require a control signal. So that control signal is nothing but a transistor current. You can control it. So if the input current is controlled, automatically output current is controlled, and automatically you can control the mechanism or the current flowing through the LED that is connected in collector to emitter base. So this is also quite possible. So you can control the intensity of the light depending on the light in the environment. So it requires a control signal as well as source of energy. So the control signal is relatively low energy, and maybe it will be an electric voltage or a current, pneumatic or a hydraulic. Pneumatic means it is using air as a or a gaseous type of form, and hydraulic means you are using the fluid. So whenever you are considering the fluid mechanisms, either you will be using it in the gaseous form or it will be using in the liquid format. So if you are using the gaseous format, it is called as a pneumatic, and if you are using the liquid format, it is called as a hydraulic type of fluid pressures or a human power. So you are applying directly force. So these are the control signals that are relatively low, and you can control the energy. So the main energy source may be electric current, hydraulic pressure or a pneumatic pressure. So when it receives the signal or a control signal, an actuator responds by converting the source energy into mechanical motion. So you are converting it into, so when you apply the force on the tap of the water tap, they move it either into clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, and accordingly you control the flow of fluid. So that is the mechanical. So flow of fluid is a mechanical motion, and you are applying the force on the tap of the that water tap. Then that force is nothing but the control action. Then rotary action is also there. So actuator plays a decisive role in an industrial mechanical system, mechatronic system. So they are responsible for moving the load to the required set point, transforming the input source into mechanical energy. So as soon as the set point is received, so the threshold is there, and as soon as that threshold is achieved, the action is initiated. So you can switch it on or you can switch it off, or you can control the flow accordingly. Now we are moving towards the classification of the actuator. So actuators, we can classify it on the basis of the principle, on the basis of the motion. So on the basis of principle, let us try to see. So on the basis of principle, whether you will be using which kind of energy, that is also very important. If you are using the energy into electrical and mechanical, so we can classify it into two parts. So first one, on the basis of electrical, so we will convert it into electromechanical type of principle. There is a electromagnetic principle also, and there is a pure electrical also. So electrical, electromechanical and electromagnetic, that we can consider it into one part under the heading electrical. Okay. So again, this electromechanical is broadly classified into two categories: electromagnetic and electrostatic. Electromagnetic and electrostatic. So electromagnetic, so electrical motors, that comes as a part of electromagnetic principle. Solenoid actuators, that is the example of this electromagnetic. Then moving coil actuators is the example of this electromagnetic. Then electrostatic, which also works on the principle of electromechanical. So that is also part of this electromechanical. Then the next one is the fluid power. So you are using the fluid power for the control mechanism. Depending on that, there are two types of actuators. So first one is the hydraulic actuator. As I told you, the liquid is used to control the action. So that is called as a hydraulic, and the pneumatic, where air is used to control the action. So that is called as a pneumatic. So apart from that, depending on the kind of principle, again the actuators are classified as a magnetostrictive type of actuator. There is a thermal actuator also, and there is a piezoelectric actuator also, and depending on the material also, a smart actuators are also available. So we can classify the actuators on the basis of electromechanical, fluid power, magnetostrictive, thermal, piezoelectric. So these are the principles on which we can classify the actuators, and on the basis of motion we can again classify the actuator. So on the basis of motion, so actuators we can classify it rotary actuator and a linear actuator. So linear actuator is what? The actuator which can move something in a straight line, we refer it as a linear, and actuator which moves in a circular motion, we will call it as a rotary type of. So I'll give you the example of linear and rotary. So here it is the example of linear. So it moves to and fro, so the action is linear. So this is the linear actuator, and here it is the rotating actuator. So you can see that here it is moving in a rotary direction. So when I am moving it in rotary, so you can see that the valve is open and valve is closed depending on the movement over here. So as I am moving this shaft, so this shaft will move the valve on and off. So similarly you can move on and off here also. So solenoid example we have seen. So this is the example of linear actuator, and this is the example of rotary actuator. So we will stop here, and we will continue the actuators with the principles of its operations in the next lecture. So thank you very much for patience listening.